Good morning, students. Today we will revise the next topic, that is image formation by spherical mirrors. A very important topic. So many students have doubt which are not serious in the beginning. That's why I am revising it once again. So first of all, to draw all the ray diagrams, you should know the rules. So there are three rules for the image formation by spherical mirror. Rule 1, as you have written in your copy, that a ray of light which is parallel to principal axis always pass through principal focus of the mirror, isn't it? So many times you will get question in board exam to simply represent the rule with the ray diagrams. So I am representing the rule with ray diagrams only. The language I think you all have written, it is also given in the book. So a ray of light which is parallel to principal axis always pass through focus, and this rule is applicable for concave as well as convex mirror. Now I am drawing a concave mirror. Concave mirror it is, since a reflecting surface, the plane surface is curved inwards. As you know, the center of the reflecting surface, the center of a reflecting surface is a point, and this point is known as pole. Now we will draw a horizontal line passing through pole of the mirror. Suppose this is the horizontal line passing through pole of the mirror. Mark the point center of curvature, and principal focus is exactly in between P and C, between pole and center of curvature. So I think it will be somewhere here. Now if a ray of light which is parallel to principal axis, suppose this is the ray of light, this ray of light is parallel to principal axis. So after reflection, this ray will pass through focus of the mirror. Arrows are very important. You must put arrow in your ray diagram. Arrow shows the direction of light, in which direction ray of light is moving. So a ray of light which is parallel to principal axis pass through principal focus. So now we represent this rule in case of convex mirror also. So as you know, in convex mirror the outer surface is plane or the reflecting surface. So a convex mirror is like this. Again mark a point at the center of the reflecting surface. So this point is pole. Draw a horizontal line through pole. So this line is principal axis. Then we will mark the point center of curvature and principal focus, which is exactly in between P and C, principal focus. So in case of convex mirror, if a ray of light falls parallel to principal axis like this, suppose this is the ray which is parallel to principal axis, then this ray will reflect back. Why it will reflect back? Because this outer surface is the reflecting surface. But when you produce it backward, then it will pass through focus virtually. जब इसको हम पीछे ले जाएंगे तो काल्पनिक रूप से ये फोकस से पास होगा. So the rule is applicable for concave and convex mirror, and we have represented rule 1 with the help of ray diagram. Now rule 2 is just opposite of it. It is very easy to remember the rules if you give your attention. Rule 2 says that if a ray of light which passes through focus after striking the reflecting surface of the mirror, it becomes parallel to principal axis. It means the second rule is just reverse of it. So I am not drawing another ray diagram, but you should practice. So suppose this time ray of light is passing through focus of the mirror, then according to rule, this ray after reflection, it will be parallel to principal axis. Here also you can show it. Suppose this is the ray which, if it will pass straight, it will passes through focus, but after striking the reflecting surface of the convex mirror, the ray will move parallel to principal axis. So the direction of arrow will simply change for rule 2. I think it is clear to you. In language, we have written earlier that if a ray of light which passes through principal focus of a mirror, spherical mirror, it becomes parallel to principal axis after reflection. So this is rule 2. Now rule 3. So rule 3 is if a ray of light which passes through center of curvature of a spherical mirror, so it will not deviate from its path, it passes straightway, isn't it? A ray passing through the center of curvature of a spherical mirror, after reflection it will reflect it back along the same path. So we will represent this rule with another ray diagram. So this time the ray of light is passing through center of curvature. So mark the point F. Here also. Now suppose a ray is passing through center of curvature. So take a ray of light which passes through center of curvature of a spherical mirror. So this ray will pass through center of curvature, and after striking the mirror, it will reflect back along the same path. This is the third rule. In case of convex mirror, suppose this is the ray of light which, if it will pass through the mirror, then it will pass through center of curvature. That's why we have drawn it with dotted line. So this ray will return back along the same path after striking the reflecting surface of the mirror. So in this way you can represent the rule 1, 2 and 3 with the ray diagrams, and this rule representation is very important, and I think now it is clear to you what are the rules. Very simple rules, that if a ray of light is parallel to principal axis, it will pass through focus. Second rule is just opposite. If a ray of light is passing through principal focus of a mirror, it becomes parallel to principal axis. And the third rule, if a ray of light passes through center of curvature of a spherical mirror, it will return back along the same path after reflection. Now we will draw the ray diagram in case of concave mirror, image formation by concave mirror. Image formation by concave mirror. So in this case we have 6 cases. There are 6 different cases where we place the object at different position. So first one, when object is at infinity. When object is at infinity, it means object is infinite distance from the concave mirror. So first draw a concave mirror. In all the cases when you are drawing image formation by concave mirror, you have to draw the diagram of mirror, concave mirror first. Then you have to mark the center of reflecting surface. So let the center of reflecting surface, as you know, it is pole. Then you have to draw a line which is parallel to principal axis. Draw a line which passes through pole, which is the horizontal line, and mark the point center of curvature of the mirror and focus of the mirror. Now first case, when object is at infinity, and you must know that at least 2 light rays are required to make an image. Actually so many light rays, millions of light rays are coming and falling on the mirror surface. But for simplicity we are taking 2 light rays. So take 2 parallel light rays, and when object is at infinity, we assume that the rays which are coming from the object are parallel to principal axis. For example, sun is at infinite distance from us. So the rays which are coming from sun are parallel to principal axis, like that you assume. So take 2 parallel rays of light. Take this and another ray like this. And these are the 2 parallel rays which are coming from the object. You can show it with dotted line also, that they are coming from very far distance. So they are parallel to principal axis. Now apply rule 1. Whenever the ray is parallel to principal axis, it will pass through focus. So the 2 rays of light, first ray will pass through focus and another ray will also pass through focus. So the 2 reflected rays, where image will be formed, where the 2 reflected rays will meet. So you see the first ray passing through here and the second ray also, so they are meeting at F. So the 2 reflected rays are meeting at principal focus, so an image will be formed at F. So we will write position of image. So position of image is at F. Then what will be the size of image? Size of image is point size. They are meeting at a point, so point size. Then what is the nature of the image? Nature of image. Nature means whether it is real image or virtual image. So after reflection, the rays are actually meeting at a point, so a real image is formed, and real images are always inverted. So real and inverted. So this is the first case when object is at infinity. Now we will discuss another case. Gradually we will shift the object towards the mirror. So the next second case is when object is beyond center of curvature. Second case when object is beyond C. Beyond C means beyond center of curvature. So again we will draw a ray diagram for it. So this much drawing is common in all the cases. You have to draw a mirror. So this is F. This much drawing is common in all the cases. You have to make a concave mirror. Concave mirror. Mark a point P at the center of reflecting surface. Then draw a line, horizontal line through P. Mark C, center of curvature, and F in between P and C, exactly in between. So this time we place object here, somewhere here. Beyond C, beyond center of curvature means suppose object is here. You can name the object. That object is AB. AB is the object whose position is beyond center of curvature. So always we will take a ray of light which is parallel to principal axis. So in all the 6 cases we will take a ray which is parallel to principal axis from the object always. So this ray will pass through center of principal focus after reflection, isn't it? Take another ray. Now according to rule, either we can take the ray through principal focus or we can take the ray through center of curvature. So if you will take the ray through center of curvature, then you have to extend the mirror up to this length. So better you take another ray through principal focus. So this is the ray which passes through principal focus of the mirror. So according to rule, a ray which passes through principal focus, it becomes parallel to principal axis after reflection. So the ray will reflected back from the mirror and it will be parallel to this principal axis. Now the two reflected rays are meeting at this point. So you will get a image here. Isn't it? So you can name the image A dash B dash. So AB is object. AB represent object and A dash B dash represent image. So now again for this ray diagram you have to write these things. Position of image. So where the image is between C and F. So position of image is between center of curvature and between principal focus. And if you will look at the size, so size is smaller than the object. And obviously the rays are actually meeting after reflection, so the image is real and real images are always imperfect. This is the second case. Now we further shift the object towards the mirror. So next position will be when object is at C. Third case, when object is at C, it means at center of curvature. So again we have drawn a concave mirror and the principal axis. So mark the point C and F. Particularly for this ray diagram, your measurement should be accurate. If F is not exactly in between P and C, you will not get image at C. So accuracy is needed, particularly for this case. Now we will place object at point C. So let AB is the object. AB is the object. We have placed this object at point C. Now take a ray. As I tell you earlier that we always take a ray parallel to principal axis. So this ray will pass through focus. This ray will pass through focus after reflection. Take another ray through center of curvature. It should be straight, and in whiteboard it is difficult to draw straight lines without a scale. So So take another ray through center of through focus. Let this is the ray which passes through focus. So this ray after reflection, it will parallel to principal axis, and you will find that you will get an image at C only, isn't it? When object is at C, you will get an image at C, and the size of image is equal to the size of object. So again we have to change these things: position of image and size of image. So position of image is at C, at center of curvature, and size is, we will write, equal to the size of object, equal to the size of object. So in this way we have drawn the third case. Now further we will shift the object towards the mirror. So next position will be between C and F. So fourth case, when object is between C and F. This is fourth case. Object is between C and F, between center of curvature and principal focus. So this time you have to place the object between these 2 points, between center of curvature and principal focus. So place the object between these 2 points anywhere. So suppose we have placed the object here, name the object, let the object is AB. Take a ray parallel to principal axis. So this ray will pass through center principal focus, isn't it? Take another ray through principal focus of the mirror, and these 2 rays, after reflection, it will be parallel to principal axis, this ray. So, and they are meeting somewhere here. So you will get a image B dash A dash, and this, the position of image this time is beyond C. So again we have to change position of image and size of image. Position of image will be beyond C this time, beyond center of curvature. And what is the size? You see, this is the height or the size of object, and in comparison to this object size of image is bigger. So we can write one word for it, that it is enlarged. Or you can also write bigger than the object. So this is the fourth case when object is between center of curvature and principal focus. Now we will discuss the fifth case. In fifth case, we further shift the object towards the mirror. So in this case it will be at F. The object will be at F. When object is at F, this is case number 5. At F it means at principal focus. So again change the position of object. So place an object at F. Again we will take a ray of light parallel to principal axis. So after reflection the ray will pass through focus. Take another ray through center of curvature. And we have learned, if a ray of light which passes through center of curvature, it will reflect back along the same path after reflection, according to third rule. Now, the two reflected rays are not exactly parallel, and we assume that they meet at infinity, and a very magnified image is formed there. So here must remember it that position of image is at infinity. So we assume that these two reflected rays will meet at infinity, and the size of image is highly magnified. Very large image is formed, isn't it? Highly magnified image. And now we will discuss the last case, which is very important case when object is placed between pole and principal focus of a concave mirror. When object is this is last case, sixth case, when object is between P and F, between pole and principal focus. So again the drawings are common. You have to draw a mirror. You have to mark a point at the center of reflecting surface, that is pole. You have to draw a horizontal line through pole. and then mark the point, center of curvature and focus like this. So in all the cases, this much drawing is common. Now this time we will place the object between P and F. So let object is somewhere here. Let AB is the object. Again we take a ray parallel to principal axis. Suppose this is the ray which is parallel to principal axis, and after reflection this ray will pass through focus. We will take another ray through center of curvature, of the mirror. So this ray, as you know, it will be returned back along the same path. And whenever you draw the ray diagram, must put arrow, because in board marking scheme it is written, if you will not put arrow, half marks will be deducted from the ray diagram. So arrows are very important. That's why I am repeating again and again. So whenever you draw the ray diagram, be careful, because direction, you have to mention the direction of light rays, in which direction they are moving, and arrow represent the direction of light. So these two rays, after reflection, they are diverging away, they are not meeting at a point. So we will produce the rays backward. So if we will produce the rays backward, they will meet somewhere behind the mirror, isn't it? And a virtual magnified image is formed. So this is the only case where you are getting erect image, not the inverted one, isn't it? So that's why this case is very important, and that's why the concave mirrors are used as a saving mirror, because when object is very close to the mirror, between pole and principal focus, we will get a magnified enlarged view of the object. So this time position of image is behind the mirror, or you can write, or on the same side as that of object. It's upon you. Either write this behind the mirror, or you can write on the same side as that of object, and size is magnified, the magnified image. And now we will change, in last case we will change nature, because this is the only case where we are getting virtual and magnified, virtual images are always erect, so we will get virtual and erect image. So in this way we have completed children image formation in concave mirror. In next class we will revise image formation by convex mirror and the uses of concave and convex mirror. So these revisions are very important. Those who have missed the classes, those who have not able to understand it, give your attention and try to solve it. और एक बात आप लोगों से कहना चाहता हूँ, वो पीरियोडिक टेस्ट देख के बहुत निराशा हुई कि कुछ बच्चों ने जो है बेकार ईमेल एड्रेस दिया है, अपना नाम दिया है, अपना रोल नंबर दिया है, जिससे कि अपने को हाइड कर रहे हैं। उससे उन्हीं का घाटा होने वाला है, हमारा उससे क्या बिगड़ेगा। अपने को तुम अगर छिपा रहे हो या नहीं उसके लिए प्रिपेयर्ड हो तो यह तुम्हारी गलती है, सीधी सी बात है। इफ़ यू आर नॉट सीरियस तो सफ़र आप ही कीजिएगा। आप अपने को हाइड करके कितना दिन चल सकते हैं। तो अच्छा है कि अब आप पढ़ाई की ओर कंसंट्रेट कीजिए, अपना ध्यान दीजिए और इम्प्रूव कीजिए। दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे। गुड बाय चिल्ड्रन।